Thanks for joining me in this video. This video is about humanitarian and compassionate applications. What is a humanitarian and compassionate application? Or also known as an H&C application. H&C applications can only be submitted inside Canada. Now this is fundamentally different than making humanitarian and compassionate arguments. For some applications, you can be outside of Canada and make H&C arguments because your case is unique and you need the officer to be compassionate towards your case and use his or her discretion about H&C. That's fine. However, when someone says, I'm filing an H&C application, to qualify for that, you have to physically be in Canada. And this application really is recommended for individuals who have no other options for permanent residency. So the only requirement really for filing an H&C application is that you are physically in Canada. Many individuals who file an H&C applications have been clients who've been in Canada for a long time. At one point they were legal. Unfortunately, circumstances happened and they're no longer legal in Canada. And so there's several factors that you can argue to hopefully have a strong application. Ties to Canada is the first one. So what the officers look at is your establishments in Canada. Do you have a job? Are you working? Are you paying taxes? Are you not? Do you have friends and family in Canada? How long have you been in Canada? So your ties to Canada will play a great role in the deciding factor of the officer. Also, what plays a role is your country of origin. So really, if you come, let's say, from the United States, it might be difficult to say that I cannot go back to the United States. Not that it's impossible, but it would be quite difficult than, let's say, from someone from Congo. United States, it's quite safe. Some people would even argue that it's a better country than Canada. So the point is, it's that the officer needs to look at why you cannot return to your country of origin. So if the application is denied and you are deported to your country of origin, what would happen to you? And in this case, you can argue persecution, you can argue your safety, you can argue that you don't know the language, you don't know the culture, that perhaps you've been raised in Canada since childhood, and that you would not be able to easily assimilate to your country of origin's culture and norms. And the last one is best interest of the child. And why I say this is the last one, because a lot of individuals confuse the fact that just because they have a Canadian child, that the parent automatically will have a strong H&C application. And that's not really the case. Obviously, as a Canadian child, you can stay in Canada. And it's understandable that you're going to accompany your parent as a minor, so even if that means you're going to have to exit for some time, but it doesn't automatically make your parent's H&C application strong just because you have a Canadian child. Now again, it's an argument to be made, but I wouldn't just focus on the child. I would focus on the ties to Canada's, and again, why you cannot return to your origin of country. What safety issues are the officers going to need to be concerned about if they do deport you? I would recommend for an H&C application not to focus just on one or two arguments. I would try to focus on many arguments to explain to the officer why under several grounds they need to use their discretion and look into all your H&C grounds, and hopefully the officer can be compassionate towards your application. These applications are quite lengthy, and until the first stage doesn't get approved, which could take as long as 12 months, you are not entitled to an open work permit, and you're not considered under implied status either. Meaning if you file the application, you could, between the time that the application is reviewed by the officer and by the time you get the first stage approved, you could get a removal order from CBSA. These types of applications are not easy. There's a lot of things to be aware of. So if this is your case and you really think that you don't have any other option, but perhaps to file an H&C application, do give me a call. Let me do an assessment. Let me ensure that this really is your final and last resort. And then let me advise you as to what arguments you should be making so that the officer can try to be compassionate towards your application. Thank you, and until next time.